Good evening, everybody. Welcome to God's House of Worship's Bible Study. Ooh, that was loud. we are going to be in chapter 6, verses 3 and 4. Thought we would get past, we'd at least get two seals done in the night, but it may not be as long, which everybody's going, woohoo, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's get up and do it with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you and I praise you for all the many blessings you've given us, Lord. And I pray, Father, that you would just touch our hearts, Father. Open them to receive your word, Lord. Give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in all your ways and in your word, Father. And I just pray that you would just touch each and every person that's on our heart tonight, Father, that's in need of a touch from you, Lord, whether it be healing, financial, physical, or whatever it be, Lord, spiritual. Lord, I pray that you would just touch them in a mighty way. And Lord, I just thank you for all that you're going to do in tonight's message, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Let's, Revelation chapter 6, verse 3. It says, and when I had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. Okay, I got visuals. There he is. It's not accurate. Of course, there's not many pictures I could find that was anywhere accurate, but I'll explain. As we discussed last week, the opening of the seals is not a literal horse and a rider appearing on the earth. It is the beginning of an event that has been set in motion by the opening of that seal. All events are progressing in sequence as the seals are broken. So with the first seal, we see that the Antichrist has come into power of going forth and deceiving people because he goes forth conquering and to conquer. He is at this time not a world leader. He is just in a position to influence political powers. Now, when we read verse 3, it says, and when he, Jesus, had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. Now, I thought that was interesting because the first seal that was broken, it just says, verse 1 says, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals and heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. So I looked up and I'm like, okay, which one was the second beast? Well, if you go to, there it goes, Revelation 4:7, it says, and the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. Now, so that means the second beast had a face, was like a face like a calf, or was like a calf. So, I will get to that. There's a significance to this. Now, this rider is riding a red horse. And when you look that word, well, I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyway, I'll just read what I got. This is the red horse, and its rider was given the power to take peace from the earth. If the rider was given the power to take peace from the earth, then there must have been peace to begin with. So, I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know. But the Antichrist will first promise peace. Because in 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 through 10, it says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet the hope of salvation. For God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him." Now, when you look at verse 3 of 1 Thessalonians, I'll go back to it. Verse 3, 1 Thessalonians 5, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." All right, this writer is going to take peace from the earth. And the Antichrist is going to, he's the first event to begin the tribulation. The Antichrist is going to sow enough strife and distrust among the people. By the time that the second seal is broke open and that event starts, then it's going to be all out chaos. And when I say that, you may say, well, it's going to be, a lot of people fighting, wars and everything. I don't think it's going to be wars. It's so like, this country against that country. I think it's going to be warring within. Let's see. Well, let's look at this. Look at the pandemic. What has it produced? Fear. And in that fear, what have people been doing? Fighting, turning against each other. You got the unvaxxed against the vaxxed. You got some of us that are just kind of, I ain't worried about it. But then you've got those that are adamant about you've got to be vaccinated. Then on the other hand, you've got those that say you shouldn't be vaccinated. It's a government conspiracy thing. And you've got extremists on the right and on the left. So there is discord in our nation. All right, another scenario. Look at the liberals and the conservatives. Let's not even look at political party. Let's look at the liberals and the conservatives. You've got people that are diehard liberals that what they want for the United States goes against constitutional rights. Then on the other side, you've got conservatives that are just as radical, only in a different way. There's people that are radical in anything. In any kind of view you can think of, people are radical. So when you bring in a leader, a person that can say, I'll take care of that. and then it's not taken care of, then it causes distrust. We've seen it. We see it happen today.
You know, I got a thing on my news feed today that they had put us on high terror alert until like February or something, I can't remember exactly.
For what?
Because of they said that if another variant comes out and they have to put us on lockdown again, that they think that the very conservatives are gonna rise up. And they think it's all gonna be from within.
Well,
That's what I got.
I think I'm gonna leave my personal opinion out of this one this time.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sam.
I said I'm game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if they lock us down again.
And they said even so with that, they said that they have information, Homeland Security has information that some groups are rising up, and I don't know who, what, they didn't go into detail, but they said that they are homegrown terrorists.
Ah,
So, we can guess
homegrown terrorist.
That's
Well-
it's called the church.
Huh?
what that is.
It's called the church.
Well, I watched a little bit of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and of course the prosecution doesn't have a leg to stand on trying to prosecute this boy, because they've had witness after witness after witness saying that he actually was defending himself. And it's like they're trying to label the judge as being partial to the boy because he's ruling against unconstitutional things that the prosecutor is trying to do. And I know Faith had put a post on Facebook about it. It's just a post. It's a Christian post, and it always comes up as a sensitive, it's sensitive image that you shouldn't see. And calling wrong right and right wrong. See, that's the whole thing. You've got people sitting over here and they're saying, but that's wrong, but yet it's constitutional. When is it wrong to have your constitutional rights? I mean, one example was they tried to make a big deal out of that the boy actually, when they read you your rights, they give you the right to remain silent. Well, he remained silent. And the prosecutor was trying to make a big deal out of that, making it out like he had something to hide. Well, he was given the right to remain silent. See, it goes completely against rational thinking to the point that it's like everybody's just gone nuts, completely nuts. And when you talk about them locking us down for another, they talk about another variant coming out, or just another song?
They said a variant.
A variant,
That's what
okay.
What it said.
I'm really surprised they didn't lock us down for the Delta variant. But my opinion, take this for what it's worth, I just don't believe there was a variant. I think it was just a resurgence of the coronavirus. I may be wrong, I probably am. Don't go to the bank with it because my opinion's like anybody else's. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But let's get back to this. The color of the horse, that red is a fiery red. That's why I chose this picture, because it kind of it's more biblical, I guess. What do flames do? They burn. What does inflammatory speaking do? it burns. It burns in hearts. It burns in minds. It says that, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat up thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. All right, so let's look at the word kill. Okay. Kill, a primary verb, to butcher, especially an animal for food or sacrifice, or generally to slaughter, or specifically to maim, violently, kill, slay, wound. Like, I know what kill means. Let's look at the word a little bit better. To butcher. You know, I killed a bug. I stepped on it and I squished it. But you don't really say that I butchered that bug, do you? No. Butchered is usually, to me, is like animal butcher, you know, butchering an animal for meat. But this is kind of like on the lines of sacrifice. And killing one another could mean a lot of different things, not just wars, like nation against nation. It could mean like civil wars. Not like wars like that, but like civil wars. It could mean rioting, violent riots. And could also mean spiritual war. It can be anything that causes death of another person. It didn't say that he was bringing war. It said he was taking peace from the earth. Just because peace is taken away does not mean it's going to be all out nation against nation.
And what is God? His peace.
Huh?
And what is God? His peace.
Yes, God is peace. So this writer is given the power to take peace, causing people to get in an uproar, evil to run rampant in people's minds. And you know, we are under spiritual warfare all the time. You know, our Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." We are constantly under a spiritual war, and it's going to be worse during this time. When this rider on this fiery red horse is set loose, it's going to be worse. And to be honest with you, I see it worse already. The spiritual battles that we have to face. But some people are not going to be are not as grounded, and don't have the arsenal that they need to fight those things off. Because as people rear up and get violent, and you know, you got fighting amongst people, the spiritual warfare is going to get worse. You're going to be, you know, have you ever felt like something was just telling you need to give up? Well, it's going to get worse. The horse and the rider follow the Antichrist. And let me go back up here. Well, we're going to put that picture The horse and the rider follow the Antichrist because when you sow contention and strife among people, then people will rise up against each other. Look at the reason for many civil wars. You know, you've got civil wars. I mean, even the United States experienced, of course, the Civil War back in 1860. What, it was 1862, I think, is when it started. But anyhow, you know, you had the North against the South, South against the North. You know,
1864,
1861. Well, I was close.
maybe it ended 1864.
I think it ended in 1864. 65.
Y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Anyhow, I was close. I was in the 60s anyhow, 1860.
I don't know.
Anyhow, you know, you had different views. And that's the way I mean, civil wars, a lot of them, that's how they are. Look at the Middle East. They've had tribal wars, civil wars going on for years. Look down in Africa. You have had civil wars going on down there. It's something that happens all over the earth. However, you know, I don't think be honest with you, I don't think it's been as bad over in the current century that we're in as it has been in centuries past. But the writer is given a great sword. And let's see. And that word great means big, literally or figuratively in a very wide application. Fear, exceedingly great, high, large, loud, mighty, sore, strong, times 2 years. I don't know exactly what, be sore afraid. But the word sword, thought this was interesting because I believe it's the scriptures in Ezekiel, I believe it is, where it's the other scripture in the Old Testament about the 4 horsemen. The one that rode the red horse, his sword is different than this one. This sword is preferably feminine of a presumed or whatever. A knife that is this dirk. It's a dirk knife. Figuratively, war, judicial punishment sword. The Thayer definition, that was the Strong's. Strong's can get confusing. The Thayer definition is a large knife used for killing animals and cutting up flesh. Now, go back to the word kill. Like a sacrificial thing. It's, you know, I'm not trying to make more of it than what it is. But this sword is not the same sword. I'll show you a picture. This is a picture of an ancient Hebrew dirk. You see how small it is. You're looking at probably about this long. It's made for hand-to-hand combat. It's not made to ride on a horse and cut. You know, I know you've seen the cavalry movies. You've seen the movies where you got them riding horses and they've got these long swords that they, you know, can swat them from a distance. Oh, that's not what this is. So see, he's given power to take peace from the earth. But he's given a great sword. He's given a big dirk. That just sounds like dirk. but he's given he's not given a sword that most of the pictures that I did not find, not the first one. That's why I said that picture that I had was not accurate, because the sword is too long. that just tells me, you know, when you look at this, you've got to look at it as big as it is. It's symbolic. Because it's not an actual rider on an actual horse that's going to come out of a book and start riding on earth. So this rider is given a short, small sword because this is what it represents. It represents the fighting amongst people. Not wars and battles where you've got missiles going off and big whatever airplanes. I ain't even gonna try to say what they are. I don't even know what the new ones are. But all these, you know, dropping bombs and the nuclear bombs going off. This is not what this is.
This is more personal.
This is very personal, yes. And see, that's what hit me. I'm like, I had never looked at it like that. Never looked at it like that. Because, I mean, I always thought that when the second seal was broke, and it was that red horse with that rider on it, and he had the sword and took peace, it was going to be wars breaking out all over the earth. But it's not. It's going to be wars, but it's going to be on a very small scale, like civil wars. People fighting amongst themselves. Things that we see a lot of going on today. And let's see if I can get back on my notes. Okay. Now, when I went on the internet, I just put in Revelation chapter 6, verse 3, the second seal. And I got a lot of different teachings on it. Biblical, you know, people, ministers teaching on it. And some of them, I actually watched a video of a guy that was talking about, he said that the horse being a fiery red horse, he kind of directed it toward like communism. You ever looked at their flags? China. Now these are the larger countries that China. Alright, Russia is not the USSR. It used to be the USSR. They're not called a communist country anymore because they have elections for the president. But it's still a communist country, socialistic country. But, look at their flag. And everybody knows Germany. I mean, look at the flags. They're red. I mean, a lot of red. You know, our flag is not actually red. It's a different color of red. It's more of a, I would say, a blood colored red. This is more like a fire engine red. But some people, some ministers believe that the second seal is going to bring in a communistic type society. What are we seeing trying to be done to our country right now?
And everywhere.
And everywhere, yeah.
Look at Australia.
That's what I was just going to say. Look at Australia. They are supposed to be a democratic government. But yet, they are, I mean, the rioting going on down there because people are tired. I don't know if they still are. I haven't seen anything on it lately. But people, you know, tired of being locked down. They're not making any money. They're starving. And if you will look, every communist country, you know, Cuba's communist under Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro had the USSR's backing on a lot of things he did. He was given weapons from the USSR, the Soviet Republic. And so, in these countries, you have people that are so oppressed. It's horrible. I put under these communist rules, millions of people have been killed. Millions. Not just a few hundred. I mean, millions of people have been killed. And it's just these three countries. Communist demands compliance, and compliance causes discontent, and people die from being discontent with their governments of the countries they live in. Not only are they killed, but they are also starved due to government disregard of the people. It still brings me back to what we go through now. Everything is supposed to be, all these things that our government is trying, and I don't need to get on the soapbox, but all these things that our government is trying to do that's supposed to be for our benefit is not benefiting us. It's benefiting them. You can't tax people to the point that they can't pay their bills and they can't buy groceries. You can't let inflation go so high that when you go to the grocery store and stuff you bought, you got 2 bags for $25, you need to spend $50 now to get 2 bags.
If you can even find it.
If you can even find it, exactly. Because I know some people may not be going through this, but I know here, we go through a lot of empty shelves. Even in Walmart, there's empty shelves. It's better, it's getting better, but, you know, and they talk about we don't understand what the supply chain is. But anyhow,
we understand they messed it up.
Exactly, they messed it up. I read a lot of commentaries written years and years and years ago, like the Matthew Henry commentary and all them. And they always make the rider on the red horse as bringing war, world war. Not just war, world war. And, you know, the red horse brings a more subtle approach because we know that in the history of the world, dominance of countries did not just happen overnight. Think about it. You know, it took Hitler, I'm just using him for an example because I know more about him. It took Hitler a little while to get to the point where he was at when he proclaimed genocide on all Jews. I mean, it took time. And the rider on the red horse is going to be more subtle. It's going to be a more subtle approach. You know, you look at, for example, Hitler. He promised peace, an Aryan nation. He promised a utopia for the German people, but they had to get rid of all the dirt, so to speak. All those of low life that were tainted, not worthy. And see, when you think about what the Antichrist is going to do, he's going to do pretty much the same thing. His words are going to be just as inflammatory because he's going to promise that peace. Now this I found. It's Dr. Stan Morrell of Redeeming Grace Ministries out of Florida. I found this on his website, and he said that according to one popular theory, Antichrist will have the personality of a John F. Kennedy, the eloquence of a Winston Churchill, the raw crowd appeal of an Adolf Hitler, and the cunning wisdom of Franklin Roosevelt. And I kind of copied and pasted. I can do that on computer. Love the little ability to do that. But anyhow, he said that eloquence is Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and the power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Now, where I'm not going to go into detail about I could, but I'm not, about the Antichrist, but he is charismatic. Daniel 7:20, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. He'll have a forceful personality. Daniel 8:23, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. He'll have, it's got cunningness. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that prince of princes is Jesus, because it's a capital P. And it's in my King James Version as capital P. But anyhow, you know, the Antichrist, you know, you're like, well, we done that last week. Yes, we did go over the Antichrist last week, but the Antichrist is what's going to bring forth each seal being broken. Because of him, then there's the red horse with the rider that takes peace. So, you know, we have to remember that the in-your-face approach is not going to be the case with the opening of the second seal. These events are not just going to happen here in the U.S., it's going to be going on all over the world. You know, we kind of, as Westerners, that's what they like to call us over the rest of the world, but us people in the United States, we live in our own little world. And when we think of these things, we don't get outside the borders of the U.S. But see, this stuff is going to be happening all over the world. My thing is, it seems like these events are already occurring now. Could we already be in the beginning of tribulation? Do you believe that it's yet to come? That it hadn't happened yet? It's got things. Do you believe it is in the near future or years away?
Real
Real
close.
Yeah. I actually had the questions up. I forgot to put them. Could we already be in the beginning of tribulation? Do you believe that it's yet to come? And do you believe it is in the near future or years away? You know, I'm going to put it back on our 4 horsemen. For some reason, I just like that picture. But anyway, you know, we here at God's House of Worship have discussed this about the things that are, the things we're doing that's going on now. You know, there's a good possibility we're already to the 3rd seal. Already. It's a good possibility. But one thing we got to remember, if that's the case, then the tribulation only lasts 7 years. So if you think that we may be going through the tribulation as we speak, I think there should be an urgency in our hearts to do what God's called us to do. Wouldn't you think? But anyhow, let's see what time it is. Come on. Oh, I got them early. Ain't y'all happy? All right, anybody got any questions, comments, anything?
Just a clarification, I know you didn't mean it that way, but if there happen to be any German people watching, we know that, look, that's not the German flag, the war flag with the swastika. We know that's not the German flag. When you said the German flag, just so people know. We don't view
Yeah,
Germans
it's a
as
Nazi
Nazis,
flag, yeah.
so.
Just the Nazi flag. I mean, it was the Nazi, the Communist Party's flag.
It was a German war flag, but I mean, it was used like 3,000 year history, but no, I'm just saying, when you say German flag, just so people know, we don't think that's a German flag.
Oh, no, no, I actually looked it up.
I mean,
What
it'd be
the,
like, all I'm saying is, cause it'd be like if you put up the, you know, the
Rebel
Confederate
flag.
flag, and said United States flag, people get, you know, upset, so I mean, it's kind of the same thing, so.
oh, yeah.
Just so people know, we know that's not.
Oh, yeah, the USSR doesn't exist as a government. Or, you know, the country, Russia is not considered the Soviet Union anymore. And Germany is not ruled by Adolf Hitler anymore. They are a democratic, or democracy, I should say. I think it's the word I was trying to look for. But it's a democracy now. And that, you know, that doesn't go on now, and that is not their country flag as it is today. But yes, Hitler was he was actually Austria. He was from Austria, not Germany. So, just a little tidbit of that information. He was not a German, he was an Austrian. But anyhow, anybody else? Okay. Christian, will you close us out, please?
Lord, thank you, Dan. Thank you for bringing us together to come together and study your word and study about the times that are coming, Lord. Just be with everyone as we leave here, and anybody watching, Lord, just you know what they need. So be with us tomorrow as we prepare for the event, and Saturday as we put the event together, and just be with us, Lord, throughout this next week, 2 weeks, however many years we got left, however long we have left, Lord. Just be with us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Yeah, don't forget, everybody in Facebook land, YouTube land, we're having a concert here Saturday at Black Belt Hardware, just right down the road, at 6 o'clock. Don't want to miss it. It's going to be an awesome time in the Lord. And, of course, we have church here Sunday morning. So, anyhow, is there anything else that I'm missing? None? Okay. Well, you have any prayer requests? Did anybody have any prayer requests, comments, or anything? Nope. Huh?
I didn't see none.
Okay. If you have any prayer requests, comments, you're welcome to message us or leave them in the comments section. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. And you have a blessed night. Be blessed and highly favored.